Yo, when it comes to like, there's this like conspiracy theory like I kind of have right now, and like I've been hearing a little bit more and more about it. It's called like the seedless theory or something like that, or some type of seedless thing, the seedless experiment or whatever. I'm not really sure exactly what the name is, right? But the seedless thing going about like fruits like watermelon, like the little what are they called? Like the little mandarins and like grapes and stuff like that. Like you know how they're like seedless, we have like seedless fruits now coming out through like I think they like crossbreeding or like through something that they do, right? They make the fruit seedless. I think it's like crossbreeding or something like that. Like we're talking about like I can't remember what it was, but through making more and more seedless fruit because I can't actually find a watermelon with seeds in it. Like I've actually looked hard and it's actually hard for me to find watermelon with seeds in it now. But more and more fruits are like coming out and not having any seeds to it. At first I didn't really, I don't really care. I didn't really think twice about it, right? I thought it was just more of a convenience purpose, right? But people are coming out more and like saying like to really think about it, right? Like if it's hard for you to get seeds for like watermelons and like mandarins and grapes, if it's hard for you to get these seeds and we make more and more fruit seedless, then you don't have to worry about like the seeds inside. You don't have to worry about like, eating like a peach and having like big old core in the middle. You don't have to worry about any of that, right? I was looking thinking like, yeah, it is pretty nice to like not have to like worry about eating a peach and then just biting straight down on the hardest core I've ever imagined before, right? That is pretty nice, right? Like this like a little conveniency factor, right? But if you really think about it, like through all these fruits, if we have less seeds and there's less seeds out there for these things, if we keep on like crossbreeding, I'm just gonna say crossbreeding because I think it's crossbreeding. I think it's crossbreeding. But they keep on crossbreeding it so we have like less seeds and seedless items, right? That means getting our hands on seeds will become like a luxury item. Does that make sense? Like the less seeds we have, like think of it like the less seeds we have, the more that like when it comes to like buying like a seed packet to like start your own garden or sorry, what is it called? Homesteading, or if you want to do anything like that. I don't really too much care about homesteading, but I do like having like plants up. I do like working on like a little mini garden. I think it's fun. I think it's like a little enjoyable just to like on like the side, just like have like plants in the home and stuff like that, right? Like house plants and things like that, right? I'm not really too into like the homesteading side, but I think it's good. I think it's great. I think it has many purposes. And like in the future, I'll probably start like a little bit of like a garden thing just to have like some like fruits and stuff like that. Just have some trees up and things like that because I have a sweet tooth, right? So I have some fruit trees and stuff like that. Sounds pretty nice, right? But it doesn't sound nice if they become like a luxury item. Like if I have to search above and beyond to start finding fruits in it that don't have seeds in it, I mean, I do have seeds in it, then like that's gonna be pretty like annoying, right? I'll have to spend top dollar now for like basic seeds that I could have gotten a few years ago. This is like future tense, right? But like I would have to be spending like in a few years, not in a few to many, however years it takes, right? For them to like to really like, make this more of like a luxury item, right? Like it take more money, take more resources, and it'd be a lot harder for me to find actual seeds, like actual watermelon seeds or like a peach core seed, like whichever. It's going to take a lot more work in order for me to get my hands on these seeds compared to now I can easily like go to the store and I can find I can still find some fruit that have seeds in it. Or I can still find a good bit of fruit that has seeds in it. I can still find apples, I can still find peaches, I can still find what's that fruit called? Um cantaloupe. There it is. I can still find like cantaloupe with seeds in it and stuff like that, right? But what's that thing? Pomegranate. Like now I'm thinking of all the ones this season, right? But like I can still find all these this season, right? But if more fruits start coming out and they start finding ways to make these fruits seedless, then it's like seeds will become a luxury item and it'll be harder to obtain seeds. And if that happens, that means gardening and homesteading will be harder to do. And if that happens, I mean, that means it's gonna be harder for you to actually get your hands on more like homegrown organic fruits because if all we have is like modified and crossbreeded like fruits, right? Then it's like, all right, it's gonna be harder and more expensive for me not just to get like normal or what was it, normal seeds and stuff like that, but now it'll make like the organic fruits that I'm already buying more expensive because it's harder for me to actually get those junks, right? So ultimately, at the end of the day, this comes back and shoots me in the foot somehow, right? Of them like making like everything seedless because I don't really too much care about like gardening stuff like that, right? But if like real seeds become like a higher delicacy, you could say a higher like luxury item. If normal seeds become that, that means like normal fruits with seeds in it then come there, and then it goes all the way up to freaking organic fruits, and they become even more expensive, and it will mess with my wallet even more. That's why I ultimately care about the seedless thing because it makes the seedless like little thing that they're going this little theory or like little conspiracy theory, right? Because I will then have to pay more money for organic fruits. And that ultimately sucked, right? Because I'm not trying to have to spend more money on organic fruits just because we're making more bottom tier food. Does that make sense? Like the more bottom tier food we make, the more fluff, like just edible items that we make, the more fluff compared to like what's actually like real, like organic fruit up here. Like I'm gonna have to have all this leeway of fluff and BS in order for me to actually get to what I want to eat. Like it's not like a, it's gonna be considered more of a luxury item like it already is. Like organic foods and fruits out there. Like some people think it's just like, oh, it's just a brand thing, just like clothes. Like some people think that, well, clothes is a bit different. Clothes is more like a brand thing, right? Like, oh, you're just buying the brand or stuff like that. But when it comes to food, you're not necessarily buying the brand unless you're actively searching out for a certain brand, right? You're not buying the brand, you're actually buying what they're like, how they're treating the food, right? If it says organic and stuff like that. If it's greenwash and you got like trapped into a greenwashing thing, then it's like, that's a shame, right? But food is different than like clothes in the aspects of clothes. It's like, yeah, like if you're going up for like the highest level of clothes, stuff like that, if you're dropping like top tier money, like if I went to like Lululemon and try to buy like a shirt there, it's gonna be made of like 100% polyester, and like the Lululemon like leggings have like PFAs and stuff like that in them, right? Especially in like the crotch area for women, which low key sucks. Well, women and men, it sucks for any gender around, right? But either way, I have to spend top money for Lululemon, or I can go to just freaking Goodwill, right? And I can get a shirt for like $1.50. I've gotten like two shirts from Goodwill for $1.50, 100% cotton, right? They've already been used before, which I don't really care. I just toss them in the washer. I wash them like twice because I think it's kind of nasty, but I'll wash it twice just for the thrill of it. And then it's like, I got a 100% cotton shirt, right? It's not organic cotton, but it's 100% cotton for $1.50. Like that's perfect right there. That's absolutely perfect right there, right? So when the clothing industry is a little bit different from that, right? Like I'm not really paying for the brand, but when it comes to like fruits, I'm not really trying to have to pay for like, bottom tier genetically modified pesticide, like the worst tier of fruit, right? Then we go from there, like, all right, this fruit seedless down here, by the way, right? Then we go up and it's like, all right, this fruit isn't seedless. It's got seeds in it, but it still was rated pesticides and a whole bunch of other BS, right? And then I have to go up there to like, all right, this fruit is organic, but now it's like organic seedless and like they did something to it. And it's like, okay, now like, I don't want that either. Then I have to go above that and be like, all right, this is has seeds in it, it's organic, and they didn't like spray pesticides or they didn't do this modification to it. Like, it just the more marketing that they add to it, the more I gotta like climb up the ladder and the more work I gotta do in a grocery store. That's so much work. You know how much work it is to go into a grocery store? It's so much work to actually find real food in a grocery store. Like if you walk to a grocery store and there's an organic food section in this corner of the store and everything else around it is just like normal food, right? It's like what does that really say about the store if there's an organic section, if there's like a real food section and then edible items around it. Like I ultimately like I think it's kind of annoying because I don't really want to pay top dollar any more top dollar than I have to, any more of a markup, any more fluff or margin between like real actual fruit and compared to freaking, what we already have, like compared to like the seedless, pesticide. Like, I don't want to have to pay more of the difference, right? Like I'm not really trying to have to do that, right? I think it low key sucks, and I shouldn't have to be a hassle for something like that. I think that, like the fruit right now, like the current price that's at, I should go to organic fruit, and organic fruit should be pulled down, and it should be just like dirt cheap to get like normal fruit, right? I think it should work more in that order. But if we did something like that, that would really help the people, and that would allow for people to access real food more and stuff like that. And no one stands to gain for that, or at least big people out there don't stand to gain for that, which is low key kind of a shame. But at the same time, they get paid when we're sick compared to actually, if we're healthy, they don't get any money or anything like that. So it's better to have a population of like not sickly death, but sick enough, but you can still go to work, survive, get your stuff done, right? But still be overall sickly compared to if we're completely healthy, then like, we don't really get much money from like the health industry from there if you're completely healthy. So yeah, I mean, you really gotta look at the motive, right? Like how much they get paid and like where do they get paid? How do they get money into their account, right? You really gotta look at that to see like the motive. Like, do they get paid when people are healthy, when people are like thriving and like 10 out of 10 health? Do they get paid off that? Or do they get paid for like fixing broken legs and like sending in medication that you gotta go take and giving you this and that? Like how do they get paid? How do they get their money? You really gotta look like where is the incentive? Where's the motive? All right, when it comes to like these like nasty companies out there, which is low key kind of a shame, but at the same time, it's just like the way the cookie crumbles for real. So you just kind of gotta take the L in it. But at the same time, I just gotta say, thank you for watching. I really appreciate you. I got two things, top link in the description. One of them we can yap for an hour. It's a free call. We can low key just yeah, about how, the companies out there are corrupt and how we got to low key take the L on that, and on how there's just things that we can do to improve not just our food quality, but our air quality, our water quality, and like the different oh freaking what do they call it? Toiletries, stuff like that that we rub on ourselves. We can improve all that. We can yap about it for an hour as many times as you like, just to yap for real. And there's another thing out there if you just want to know all the information about freaking health in the world out there, right, from beginner to advanced. You just want to know everything about health, everything on the planet about it. Check it out, Health Maxing 101. Top link description. That is my course right there. Really appreciate you for watching, and